Adrian writes, everyone has a movie that they know is terrible, but they love to watch anyway. What's yours?
Guilty pleasures. Guilty pleasures. What comes to mind, guys?
Voyage of the Rock Aliens from the 1980s. It's one of my favorite movies. It's terrible. It's a throwback to the midnight movies of the early 80s and late 70s, and it's a musical. And it's ridiculously bad, but I get such joy out of it. And the first 20 minutes is a music video starring Tito Jackson. So, like, it's got everything. It's got really, really bad creature effects. It's a musical, and the dancing is just way better than it should be. The choreography in this movie is, you're watching it and you're like, that's where you spent the budget? It's really, really good. So, Voyage of the Rock Aliens, it's not actually available on Blu-ray, DVD, or streaming. So
how do you get it?
YouTube. It is up on YouTube. If you search Voyage of the Rock Aliens, it's up there. I would not normally encourage pirating it, but you can't get it any other way. So
I like it. I'm gonna go with Sharktopus.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Birdemic, Carnival Magic. When I was at IGN, we had C-list film screenings all the time, and they were all so bad. They were so good. So yeah, I would go with that. And then more like recently, I love cheesy dance movies, as I've said, and some of the dialogue is so bad, I'm laughing hysterically, and you're not supposed to, but it's just so much fun. And then the dancing is great. But yeah, I'd go Sharktopus. Dennis?
The Room. I mean,
yeah.
you gotta watch that movie. It's like so epically bad.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yeah, like we were watching it with a bunch of people, and someone was like convinced that it was like an act. Like the movie was actually done on purpose. Like he was so convinced. And this is someone that writes for, you know, one of the websites we all read. And I was just like, wow, like that's how bad this movie is, that it has convinced this guy that it's all a trick, but it's not.
So good.
Oh,
Alicia?
hi, Mark.
God, so bad. Well, I've confessed before my love for Spice World and Showgirls, but I'll throw another one onto the pile. Grease 2 is amazing. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Rider. A cool, 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 cool rider. Oh my God, I love that movie.
And I still remember because my dad used to buy Leonard Maltin's movie guides every year. I know, which is sad that next year's edition is the last one in print. Oh, but I remember flipping to Grease 2 because I loved it and seeing the word bomb next to it. And I was like, oh no, come on, Leonard. Why can't you love this movie like I do? It's so cheesy,
it's
so
the
bad,
best.
but it's fantastic.
And Michelle Pfeiffer was so hot in that movie.
know.
Showgirls is also a guilty pleasure of mine. Is that not a good movie?
Yeah, come on. It's got
I actually
incredible
saw
acting.
Elizabeth Berkley the other day at breakfast. I was like, we love you. Like, forget all that. You're great. Versace. Oh, so good. All right, what's next?
Gibby Royale writes, any word on the next installment of Ice Cube's Friday series?
I don't know.
Go ahead. You peeked up.
Yeah. So the next Friday is coming, and this is supposed to be the one that brings everybody together. We're gonna have Mike Epps. We're gonna have Ice Cube. We're gonna have Smokey is coming back, and that just is so awesome to me. I'm so tired of Rush Hour movies. I want him back in Friday. So yeah, it's supposedly the script is in the works. I know Ice Cube is really focusing on the NWA movie right now.
Yes!
Which I can't wait for that either.
So excited.
I love that that's being made, and I'm loving that these movies are being made in general. It's the next Friday, that's the sequel I've always wanted anyway. So yes, please bring it to me as soon as possible. Once I get through NWA, I believe that's the next thing on Ice Cube's list, and from what I understand, he's going to direct it. So.
I'm really excited about everything that came out of this side of the room. NWA, that's my heart right there. That's what I grew up with. And yeah, I completely agree. It's Friday. We ain't got to do. It's just like so good. It's so good.
What's interesting though is Chris Tucker actually doesn't find Friday very funny. He's like, he doesn't understand why it became so popular. He has quotes about saying like, I don't understand, is it funny? Like he said like when they were making it, he was asking other people on the film like, is this actually funny, you know? But
yes, we tell you good sir that it is funny. Alicia, anything to add?
Nothing to add, but I will watch it. I don't know. I haven't seen all the Friday films. I remember seeing the first one when I was young, but maybe I should revisit it again.
You can skip
so much
the
fun.
Christmas Friday.
Yeah?
Yeah, that doesn't really exist in my eyes. All right, let's take two quick more.
Right. Bob Edwards writes, movie critics see movie for free. Do you think this impacts their reviews and opinions?
I personally don't think so because, I mean, if I liked a movie, I liked a movie. And if I didn't, I didn't. You know, a lot of the times studios will fly people out to a set visit and it'll be like the most magical experience and then they didn't like the movie. Would they paint it a little more favorably? I don't know. I can't answer for them. But from my own standpoint, I'm pretty confident with my own opinions and whether I spend money on it. I mean, I think that just shows how much I want to see it if it's not playing in a theater right away. And I'd find the one theater, you know, then I know that my interest is really high, but no, that doesn't taint where I stand. If I loved a film, whether or not, it wouldn't matter if I spent money on it or not. Alicia?
Yeah, I agree. And the good writers wouldn't let it affect them,
No.
wouldn't let all the perks affect them, wouldn't let the amount of movies you see per week affect you. But of course, there are certain critics and writers who are quote whores, as they call them. Quoting quote whores, who will, you know, write a certain review that they know a line that will get picked up for the poster just for that.
So they can see their name right there.
Exactly, exactly.
And this big.
They're not the
like
good
this
ones.
big.
And you can
I
tell
made
the
it.
outlets.
Yeah.
Like, you can judge a movie by the quotes and the outlets that they choose, because obviously if a movie's great, they're going to go with Variety, Rolling Stone,
Yeah.
and then if
The
it's
big
not
boys.
so good, it's like tiny little outlets.
The best is when they do the quotes and then they do like a Twitter.
dot.
No,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
Twitter.
Twitter. It's like, really? Someone from Twitter likes the movie? Wow, what an endorsement.
Anything to add?
Yeah, actually, I think this is a great question. As a writer, I do kind of take it for granted that I get to see these movies for free. And I think that's the spirit of the question. It's not so much, I don't feel wooed to think something's better because I saw it for free. I tend to try to honestly think, would I recommend somebody spending $20 to go out and see this? That is what we're doing as writers. And sometimes there are movies that I can be on the fence about. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I thought Let's Be Cops was hilarious. That's a prime example. I thought it was great. I didn't pay for it. I wouldn't recommend somebody pay for it. But I got to see it for free and I still thought it was funny. But I kind of take that, when I watch that movie for free, I'm saying, I didn't pay for this. I don't feel like there's a sunk cost here. I'm able to enjoy this more. I try to picture there are people going to the theater, when they drop that money, they want to know they invested in the right film.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we have to have in our heads when we're writing.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely very grateful. I see these films and I just, all the time, I'm just like, I have the best job ever. I get
Dream
to see
job.
movies and that's my heart and soul right there. So yeah, no, it is a really good question. And you're right, because if there's so many amazing films in theaters, then I would recommend this. But it all depends on what you're looking for. If you want a visually gorgeous film, go see Sin City. If you want to laugh,
Yeah.
this. And that's the beautiful part of cinema. There's so much diversity.
And then
so,
there's Transformers.
yeah.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.